Welcome to Bastard Quest. I'm the game bastard Kyle.
No, you're not. I'm the gay bastard, Austin.
Oh, I'm Kyle.
I'm actually the game bastard, Corey.
Todd.
Hello. Todd, today you will be playing the most bizarre game with 3 GMs.
All running a different system.
Yes. So it's like a Palladium game.
Yeah.
This is the only one we're playing riffs. It's just tied against a mountain of rules.
Oh, well, I've always wondered how I was going to die.
Yep.
I'm in charge of things that happen to your left leg and your right forearm.
Okay.
I'm in charge of your left face.
And I'm in charge of everything but the feet, which the patrons are in charge of.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so roll your feet die.
No, today we're playing Deathmatch Island.
We are. This is a game from the Evil Hat.
We're continuing on from our adventures in Phase 1 and Phase 2. We're coming up on the finale, hopefully. Competitors have gathered some resources. They've met a few people, but Phase 2 has officially started, and pretty soon everybody's going to start killing the fuck out of each other. But before we get into all that, why don't you tell us who you are?
I'm Corey. I'll be the game master tonight. No, I'm playing Morgan Castle, the nuclear engineer. That's about it.
All right.
I am Sebastian Usolo. Got shot last time. Nose now back in center of face and fucking with my voice.
All of Todd's Evil Hat characters are severely fucked up. I've noticed. Blades in the Dark, he had a chest win.
That's right.
Well, I'm playing Lincoln Hoffman. I'm a factory worker. I have watery eyes, sinewy build, practical hair, and a Twitch stream.
Oh, I forgot about the Twitch stream. That hasn't come into play yet.
Also, I am ice cream scooper. Own Lick Me ice cream shop is good.
Kyle, actually, I wanted to do something special for you coming up with different interpretation of a feature.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you an extra advantage.
Cool.
Since you have a Twitch stream and this is all about gaining followers, I want you to write down the advantage callback. Some point in the game, you're going to do something that's a callback to what you're known for on your Twitch stream. And the followers are going to like it.
Now, are all advantages a D8?
No.
No.
They are what I declare them to be. Anywhere between a D6 and a D10, depending on how applicable they are.
Okay, so what is this one?
We don't know yet.
Oh, it's
Depends on
applicable
what you use it for.
to the moment.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You know, if I get off this island, I'm going to open up yogurt shop also, and it'd be called I Can't Believe It's Not Ice Cream.
Nice.
I had yogurt once.
That's good.
No, I didn't like it. It was Greek yogurt.
Oh, I spit on Greek yogurt. It's made out of goose.
Man, I thought you were from Greece.
I don't know.
He's from Europe.
All right, so when last we left our plum-suited heroes, they had just finished the first event of Phase 2, which was Scout. In Phase 2, everybody gets split apart. You don't get to rely on each other as a team quite so much. And everybody split up and ventured across the island to try and see what they could learn about the upcoming battle. Sebastian tried to reason with Abthorpe and his jackbooted alliance and got shot for his troubles and ran into a tree.
Nose back in center.
Yeah, but you did learn that they are creating a dragnet and sweeping the island to crush out any last remaining dissenters.
Yes, they are recreating Tom Hanks' Dan Aykroyd classic Dragnet movie.
Oh, that's the one you went with. Okay, all right. Not a Jack Webb fan?
Jack Webb is goose.
It's the feet.
Yes.
And Morgan, Corey's character, managed to climb the radio tower that they had found before and got a great view of the entire island to kind of be able to know where everybody's going to be so that they can kind of pick where they want to make their last stand. And learn not only is the Alliance dragnetting across the island, but also saw where Quincy's rebellion is moving in a small group north up towards some apartment blocks where they're probably about to collide with Abthorpe.
Every time I hear the name Quincy, ever since Corey mentioned Jack Klugman, that's all I can picture in my head. And so when you say Quincy's Rebellion, I was like a sequel to the TV show Quincy where he was a coroner, where he's like, I'm chopping up everything now.
Me too.
Yeah.
And Lincoln, Kyle's character, was carrying another NPC, Pena, through the woods toward the sanctuary. And she's asked Lincoln if he sees Quincy again. to just straight murder her. So that's the end of that first little slice of phase 2. And next up comes Scramble and then Battle Royale. In the Scramble stage, you guys are essentially just going to be picking your approach to the deathmatch itself. There are a few threats that you're going to be able to identify, and you will choose whether to defend against those specific threats or try and seize control of the battle as a whole and try to control the stakes of what comes next. And so that means this one is going to be essentially not its own dramatic scene. It's really going to be more of a coordinated experience amongst all three of you. So in the Scramble, you guys are essentially just going to pick first where you want to make your stand. And that's going to decide what threats are in front of you. So you know that there's going to be a confrontation at the apartment blocks between Abthorpe's Alliance and Quincy's Rebellion. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go there. If you want to let them battle it out and just see who you have to deal with later, so be it. So how do you guys want to approach it?
Now, we're currently all separated, correct?
You are all separated. Essentially, you'll still get to make this decision together since you guys found the
Walkie-talkies.
Yeah. And I have, I believe, texted all of you the image of the map. So yeah, you guys review the map and see where you want to go. I'm not going to let you go all over the island. It'll have to be somewhere where you can reasonably reach in the time frame of phase 2, but I'm going to be pretty lenient with that.
I'm going to get the truck.
So that's back at the blinking light, I think.
Well, here's my idea. I get the truck. You guys get in the back. I'll drive, and we'll use it like a chariot of death. And we will just drive all over the island and eliminate anyone who dares look sideways at our truck.
You're supposed to say over. We're on walkie-talkies.
Oh, sorry. Over.
You got potato salad ass here. Come back. That's his handle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, potato salad ass.
Over.
Now, can I just stay at the radio tower, Austin? I mean, I'm up here. I found a sniper rifle, the PSG-1,
Yeah.
which stands for Plum Shooty Gun.
It does now.
Oh, wait. Hold on, guys. I just thought of cool CB handle. I am Neapolitan.
Ooh.
So, yes, Corey.
Okay.
Metaphysically, it is possible for you to remain on the radio tower.
Metaphysically?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where there is no action.
Perfect.
Now, from a marketing standpoint, production's not going to like somebody sitting out of the combat.
Well, I have more in mind to do here, but
I'm sure you do.
We'll
but
get
I'm
to that.
I'm going to give you 2 points of interest, and you decide what you want to do with them.
Okay.
Number 1, that sniper rifle can reach no point that is going to be effective to help anybody else from your current vantage.
Okay.
Number 2, production has things like plastic explosives and mind control devices and other such things around the island. So if there are things that can help them encourage someone to actually participate, they use those.
Okay.
What I'm saying is it's absolutely possible for you to remain here. You might be facing a different challenge than everybody else when it comes deathmatch time.
Okay.
Austin, I'm interested in the house.
Okay. So there is a point almost directly to the north of the Whitewater,
Yes.
kind of in the center of the island, that is surrounded by an open valley. It is just known as the house. It's a lone house standing with lots of open space around it. It's very easy to defend. If that's something you want to check out, then you guys can move in that direction.
Want to check out the house. My voice is getting weirder by the moment, guys. Don't know why.
Understandable, since your nose has migrated.
Nose is weird.
I just assumed it's the walkie-talkie. Over.
All right, so you guys talk amongst yourselves and decide what point you want to use to stake your claim.
I'm going to get the truck. I'm going to pick up Gooseman, and we're going to go to the house. And I'll pick up Nuclear Face if he wants me to.
Yeah, I'm down to be picked up. I just want to do something else at the radio tower before I leave.
Okay, what are you doing, Corey?
Basically, I want to try using my cryptography code book and the walkie-talkie. I want to try to hack into the radio tower and broadcast something to all the loudspeakers on the island.
Okay, so I'm going to make that a part of your scramble action, but you don't have to do that here at the radio tower. So here's what we're going to say. While you are up on the radio tower, you opened up the operations box at the top of the tower and managed to read enough of the manual next to the alignment controls for the radio mast to know the antenna's broadcast frequency.
Okay.
You can now make use of that from another vantage point.
Okay.
So if you want to try and use that signal, you can try to do that.
Okay, cool.
Because I like that idea. I think that's cool. It just doesn't fit into the structure of the rules that they've got for phase 2.
That's fine.
So we're gonna fudge it a little bit. So you're gonna be rolling something a little bit different.
Okay.
So you guys are you're getting the truck, and you're gonna use it as kind of an armored convoy to get you to the house.
Sounds good.
So then it sounds like, Kyle, you're gonna be defending.
Sure.
So when you defend, you are stopping specific threats from happening. And as the one who's kind of taking the initiative to take the truck and use it as a defendable vantage point, I'm going to shoulder you with that responsibility. You still can choose to seize because it is your choice. I'm just saying if the course of action is to try and use the truck as, this Fury Road
Death Chariot.
yeah, then that's probably what you're going with.
I don't see anybody else having a truck with a goose mangled man in the back with a gun.
All right, so here's what you guys have in front of you. You are riding in the truck through the jungle. Lincoln's at the wheel, singing High Hopes while he tries to get the radio running. Morgan and Sebastian are in the back, keeping a lookout. Here's what you guys are up against. You find one of the overgrown roads leading north. There's even a small bridge further up water from the Whitewater Rapids that you can use to cross the river. You manage to get to the north half of the island, and you can see the valley in the distance where this house is supposed to be on the map. But you can also see that Abthorpe's Alliance has set fire to the undergrowth, and there's a pretty raging inferno in front of you in the jungle. Not only that, you are starting to see the outlines of one of the branch-off factions from the Dragnet closing in on the house itself. So you're not going to be facing quite so many threats as what's going on at the apartment blocks, but you won't have the place entirely to yourself. Kyle, with you driving the truck, I would recommend defending, but it is entirely up to you. Each of you guys will now choose to either defend against one of those two threats or try and seize control of the battle and potentially control the stakes of what happens in the deathmatch mode. Corey, I recommend this for you.
Okay.
Because you're trying to take a specific action that's going to affect the overall outcome.
Okay, fine with me, over.
Are you still on walkie-talkies?
Just being polite.
Roger that.
I'll take it. You've never been polite to me on this show.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you guys make final choices whether you want to defend or seize.
So I guess I'm seizing with my walkie-talkie of justice.
Okay?
The walkie-talkie of justice while riding in the back of the death chariot.
Yes.
Yeah. I will defend Austin.
Okay. Which of those two threats do you want to defend against?
The people. I will circle around them like a truck shark.
And try to run them down, or?
No. Sebastian's shooting them.
Okay.
I shoot them with pistol.
Okay.
So you're essentially trying to make like a wagon train circle
Yeah.
with one truck?
Yes.
I
You
like
know
it.
that scene in Gladiator where the chariots come out?
Yeah.
And they're shooting the people with arrows?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like that, but with the Ford.
Okay.
We're going to say, Kyle, you're going to have to contend with the fire in order to keep everybody out of danger while you're driving through this inferno. And Todd Sebastian can be the one who tries to snipe the enemies from a distance.
Have you ever seen man with face on side of head aim gun? It's great. Very weird.
I have. That's one of the reasons I gave it to you. I think it's great. So this will be run like any other contest. There's going to be a target number decided for each threat, and I'm going to decide that now. They have turned nature against you by setting the jungle on fire, but Abthorpe is not here, so they don't get quite as many boosts as they normally do. So I'm going to roll for them, plus the danger level for the location. And for the house, the danger level is 4. All right, so for the fire, it's a 9. For the Alliance members, it's a 10. So those are your target numbers. Kyle, you're essentially going to be rolling against the 9. Todd, you're going to be rolling against the 10.
Great. I've been so successful thus far in all of my roles in this game.
So, Austin, if I use survival gear, what kind of die does that give me?
Acquisitions always give you an additional D4.
That you add to your results of your main pool.
That's correct.
Oh. So what I'm going to do, so there's a little tent graphic I'm going to take the tent out of my survival gear and completely cut it apart so it's just one huge piece of tarp. And I'm going to drag that through the river, get it sopping wet, and wrap the truck in it.
Okay.
And then I'm going to pour more water in the bed of the truck for goose mangle.
Okay. Lincoln's going to wrap the truck in his waterproof tent that he's dragged through the river.
It's soaking wet.
It is, I guess.
That's how water works, Austin. Look at an internet.
Actually, I'm surprised you haven't caulked the bed of the pickup truck with the tent and made a swimming pool out of it.
I don't think there's time for that.
Now he gets practical.
That's fucking ridiculous, Austin.
Yeah, so we're just soaking the truck in water and then Duke's a hazard and we drive in.
Okay.
I like it.
So Kyle's doing essentially the prepare the wagon and ford the river. So I'll allow that. I assume the survival kit has the things you would need to sort of insulate yourselves from the flames.
Yeah, snorkels and such.
Yes. I'm not adding anything to that.
Yeah, it's got
Fireproof hazmat.
a talking Billy Bass.
Lincoln opens up his survival kit and actually just finds a nice packet of asbestos. This is a survival kit from the 60s. he just spreads it. He just spreads the powder over the truck, and even from this distance, you see the flames just go out.
Apply liberally to face and hands. All right.
No, the flames don't go out, but it will make it a lot easier to try and drive through them.
All right. Well, I'm going to roll my dice here.
Now, what all are you rolling? You're rolling your acquisition for your survival kit, challenge
Yep.
beast for driving.
Yep. And name and job. That's about it.
Yeah.
All the normal stuff. Well, I got a 15.
All right. So, Todd, what are you rolling?
Okay, so I am using my Walther P99 to shoot people.
Okay.
So I get a D4 for that, correct?
That's 1d4.
And I'm assuming this would also be, would this be Challenge Beast or Deathmatch?
This will be deathmatch.
Deathmatch, okay. So I get a D6 for that.
Now, don't forget, you can spend a point of fatigue to use a secondary capability. Like if you wanted to also throw your social game in there, maybe throw a friendly holler to the to the enemy first and try and distract them before you shoot them in the head.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. So that will give me a D8.
Okay. And then don't forget your 2 D6s for your name and occupation.
Name and occupation. Okay, so that's D4, D8, and 3 D6s.
Cool.
So that's going to be a 10.
Right on it.
Yep.
Corey, what are you rolling?
So name and job, social game, and I'm going to spend a fatigue to also use snake mode. So that's a D8.
All right. Now, we're going to change that up just a little bit. I'm still going to allow you to use snake mode as your bonus capability instead of social game, which I do think this probably would be under normal circumstances. But since you are breaking the rules a little bit, your primary skill here is going to be redacted.
Okay. So same result, a D6 and a D8 for those two.
Yeah.
And I'm using my walkie-talkie, so that's a D4.
Yep. Now, I'm still just going to use the current danger level for the place you're at, but I am rolling a few more die in order to underline for you how looming the production's threat is. So that's going to be a total of just 8. Your target number is an 8, Corey.
Okay. I got a 13.
Awesome. So then, Todd, you actually rolled the lowest, but you're all successful. For these contests, we're not narrating each other's results in the same way that we do normal contests during phase 1. I'm just going to give you kind of an overview of what's happening before these big tactical moves start happening.
Excuse, please, but would like to mention that when I shoot my social game, I scream, duck, duck, goose, and I fire on goose.
Todd, does Sebastian only see geese standing where these people are?
There are no people. There is only goose.
Okay. The camera settles on this cluster of 5 armband-wearing alliance members that Abthorpe has gathered into his alliance. They're carrying cans of gasoline. A couple of them have a torch, and they're all carrying assault rifles. And they start to hear this rumble from the woods. This cloud of asbestos smoke bursts out of a thicket, and this truck ramps this hill and blasts into the valley with a bizarre-looking European in the back of the bed blasting away with a pistol.
I would like to mention that Sebastian's hair is just flowing, man. It is whipping in the wind sexily.
Some of the Alliance members go down from bullets to the face. Others go down when the truck drives right the fuck over them and right up to this 2-story cornflower blue suburban home.
Death chariot. Over.
And the truck squeaks to a stop right as the last of the gas tank runs out.
No, that was just Mr. Christopher.
And you hear the engine trundle out. Corey, what's Morgan doing?
So Morgan has hacked into the radio tower. So he's going to address the denizens of Deathmatch Island via his walkie-talkie to the speakers that are placed sporadically throughout the island.
Okay.
To try to manipulate them. He shouts into the walkie-talkie, "Lo, you doomed souls of the island. It's me, Morgan. I have acquired the powers to beat death. I've got a mouse I brought back to life. I'm like a kind of shitty god. Join to me, and if you fall in combat, I could probably bring you back. Or you could kill yourself and I could try it." Trying to thin the herd. So basically, he's trying to manipulate people to join together.
That's great.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah. The camera zooms into this matte black satellite accented with orange stripes floating in space above Deathmatch Island. And we zoom in on the reflection in the lens, scanning down over the island. We're watching this thick web of Alliance members sweeping across the island from right to left, closing in on the last members of the tiny rebellion on the west side of the island. And then we see a notification that a signal is going out. We can't hear what it's saying, but suddenly we see all of the dragnet of Alliance members stop and start converging on the house at the northern half of the island.
The matte black satellite, of course named after Patreon member Matt Eden. Thank you, Matt.
Corey, you've made the battle a lot harder because now you are the central
God.
point of focus
I am their god that they worship and
in
adore.
Deathmatch Island.
Yes.
But you are successful, so you get to choose the bonus capability for Battle Royale. Now, the bonus capability is the one that everyone can use to add a second die to their pool without spending a point of fatigue. And so you kind of get to choose what they can use to their advantage during what is essentially going to be a mostly deathmatch game. But if some of these characters don't have a high skill in what you said as the secondary, then they get less of a bonus.
Okay.
Now, the rules as written also describe you basically getting to choose the stakes of the deathmatch stage of Phase 2. Honestly, that's a little bit milquetoast as far as the rules of the game are written. I don't think you guys have any personal stake in even caring who lives or dies in the deathmatch stage. I think that's the point of the game. So I don't think that makes a lot of sense narratively, so I'm going to say that doesn't matter. You have successfully and unwittingly kind of saved Quincy and her rebellion by diverting the Alliance's attention toward you. Now the Alliance is closing in all around the house, and it will be you against the Alliance. And, Corey, since you broke the rules of the game, against the resources of production, including armed kill squads, subliminal programming triggers, and guard dogs.
I expected this.
Well, you're God, so.
Yes.
The conclusion of the island is Battle Royale. It's always a deathmatch contest, and the final result is judged by considering the results of the Seas contest and the Battle Royale contest together. So I'm going to roll for the overall target number, and I'm going to be rolling a fuck ton of dice this time because I am going to include production's threats along with their aspects. We also have the Merciless Kill Squads, which is a D12, and production's aspect of exhausting and dangerous, which is a D12, programming triggers, and guard dogs. So the total target number is going to be 12.
Well, I think Morgan is going to continue his plan of manipulating as many people as he can.
Okay, I'm going to remind everybody that your primary capability for this contest is going to have to be deathmatch.
Okay.
So if you have stuff like manipulating in mind, you'll just have to spend a point of fatigue for that second capability. But, Corey, you never did pick what you wanted that to be. So if you'd like it to be snake mode, you don't have to spend shit.
Well, I'd actually like it to be redacted. What I'd like to do here is try to manipulate everyone to band together against production.
You can do that. This can be the beginnings of your rallying cry before you guys get to the end game where you might specifically go up against production itself.
Okay.
That stands to reason.
Because they're already mad at me.
Yeah.
I got nothing to lose.
Yeah. I will say, Corey, strictly as a non-partial leader of the game, that everybody's skill for redacted is going to be at a D6 because that is not in the occupational breakdown.
Yeah, I'm aware.
And so if you're going to make a capability advantageous for anybody, you still might pick something that it's at least possible for somebody to have a D8 at.
Well, I'm going to actually change the bonus capability to snake mode in this situation.
Okay.
Because if I'm manipulating them to turn against production, I kind of want it to be like a sneaky thing.
Yeah, and that tracks. I mean, in a normal contest against production, you would be having to use the redacted skill, yes. But since this is a collective battle that's not going to have its own scene beats and everything, we're essentially going to be looking at this from a tactics perspective. So, yeah, I think that's the right way to go. It at least means that you can add your occupational skill without having to spend any fatigue.
Sure.
So then what's your total dice pool look like?
Okay, so 2 D6 for my name and job, D8 and a D6 for deathmatch and snake mode. I'm going to spend a fatigue to add a third capability, which I will make social game since I'm still kind of manipulating people. Going to use my walkie-talkie for the final time. And can I also use my pistol? Basically, I'm wanting to shoot at anybody who looks like they are not going to follow the word of God.
So for any one contest, I think you can just use one acquisition.
Okay, so that makes my total dice pool 4d6, a d8, and a d4.
Yeah.
That's a total of 13.
Nice. All right, Todd?
Name and occupation, my deathmatch die, and I am going to use my pistol to continue shooting people.
Okay.
No, here's the thing. I'm going to use my pistol to shoot at anyone who doesn't go along with God's plan.
Yeah.
A time-honored religious tactic.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, don't forget, you get to use your, I know it's not a D8, but you still get to use your snake mode as well without spending a point of fatigue.
We'll do that also.
Because Corey established that as the bonus capability.
So I get 4 D6s and the D4 for my pistol.
Okay.
That's going to be a 10.
Ooh, okay. Kyle?
I'm forming a dice pool from, of course, my name, my occupation, deathmatch, spending a fatigue, open up, challenge beast. I'm going to use my survival gear, particularly asbestos, for one last time. And I'm also going to use my classic Twitch trademark slogan, out of the frying pan into the fire, fellas, which is a callback to my Twitch streamers, because I'm going to cover myself in asbestos and use the fire as cover to ambush people around the island.
Nice.
I'll be running through the fire and emerging to grapple people and bludgeon them to death with some 2x4s that I hammered together while singing the A-Team song.
Nice.
All right. So roll your dice.
That's going to be a 7.
Ooh, okay.
Ouch.
Like most religious fanatics, Todd and Kyle have shot themselves in their own foot.
Well, burned. I don't use a gun.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
We did it for you, Lord.
Thank you. Over.
All right. So things aren't going to go well.
Yeah, I mean, Sebastian has 3 fatigue and 2 injuries.
You mean my asbestos fire plan didn't work?
No, you get the cancer all at once.
So instead...
Oh, it said on this bag, do not apply to face and hands. Oh, man.
All right. So normally, this is a very tactically focused stage of the game. I would speak in broad terms about how the battle went, how you managed to turn the tide at the last minute and overtake the Alliance and narrowly escape before it's time to make your voyage to the next island. That's not what's going to happen.
Shocking.
But I rolled a 7.
Largely because of that. So instead, we're going to narrate this out as if it's a contest in the normal phase of play. Corey, you are the lone successful one in this contest. Tell me your overall goal.
Well, I would like to live. Primarily. But if we can bring down production as well and expose the game for whatever kind of crazy shit is happening here with clones and black goops and all that crazy shit. And honestly, I shouldn't have been able to bring that mouse back to life, so that's weird too. I want to get to the bottom of that.
Yeah.
I know deep down inside.
I mean, there's a lot of weird shit going on this island. There was a whole other Sebastian face.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's that truck.
Weird.
Yes.
What is that doing here?
I mean, it was a Nissan.
Keys right in it. That's weird.
So you guys are on the porch when the Alliance crests the hills all around and begins running in a coordinated formation, a noose ever tightening around your necks.
Not going to lie, not a little good.
Sundance Kid! Sundance Kid!
That is what Lincoln is screaming as he parkours off the porch,
On fire.
ready to fight off the horde. The only problem is you're in a valley, and there's really not a whole lot to parkour off of. So, Lincoln, why don't you tell us about what's going on with you over there?
I'm assuming death. I don't know how that goes. Well, they probably just shoot him down. He just jumps off the porch and there's this hail of gunfire and he falls dead.
That's exactly what happens because Abthorpe, having kind of spearheaded this formation coming from the south, is staring at you from kind of a cliff overlooking the valley, and he doesn't even have to participate in the battle. He just watches with a bullhorn. Todd, what's Sebastian trying to do?
I've already used my pistol twice, so I think I'm done with that, correct? Isn't that what those little things
That doesn't mean you can't run out there with it and fire it with abandon only to find out that the mag is empty.
Well, yeah, he's going to do that. Running sideways, of course.
So weird.
So while Lincoln was defending the porch from the front with his impressive parkour, Sebastian was crab walking out the side door.
And immediately, once again, bullets. It's not good. And as he's laying on the ground, taking his last few breaths, he has a message for his followers. And I just want to say, my name is not Sebastian Usuro. My real name is Tom Cody. And I created the character of Sebastian because I thought it would get me here onto Deathmatch Island. And it turns out I was right. I had plastic surgery to make my face weird because they always take weird face people. And I came here to sabotage the game and to kill production and shut it down forever because this is where my wife, Diablo, died.
Okay.
Thank you for all of your support and fuck
With his last breath, Lincoln pushes himself up and shoots this liar. All Lincoln wanted was to make friends, and he's made friends with a liar.
Morgan shouts, "No, they hadn't been baptized yet. They're going to goose hell."
Somewhere we pull back from a screen watching the camera feed that's focused on Lincoln and Sebastian, or Cody.
Tom Cody.
And you can see the comment feed like a Twitch stream coming up, and now there's so many people going, R.I.P., R.I.P., based, or what the fuck ever they say. And then we focus in on little old Morgan. Corey, what's going on?
Well, Morgan looks to the rest of the people who survived the onslaught of Sebastian and Lincoln, holds Mr. Christopher aloft, and shouts, "Break the game, please,"
Okay.
to try to further the attack against production.
I see.
And to turn on the squads that were sent and the dogs and all that stuff.
You do see a few of them after your first announcement at least hesitate, and some of them look around, suddenly realizing they are fighting amidst crowds of uniformed guards with ski masks and trained dogs that have already taken down a few of them. And you see that it does incite a little bit of infighting, if only for the reason that people are fighting for who gets the honor of killing you. But it still works. As the fighting commences, you position yourself at a second-story window, and with your sniper rifle, begin picking off as many as you can find before you are inevitably overrun. But you hold them off for a long time. Then you hear the door behind you get kicked open, and you turn and see Abthorpe standing in the doorway.
Hello.
"I don't cotton to agitators." And he raises an assault rifle and fires it towards you. Time seems to stop, and out of nowhere, we see a teeny tiny mouse fly into frame, going, "No!" Now, I want everybody to keep in mind this is a mouse the size of one that would feed a snake, so it only catches one bullet.
The baddest one, though.
The one destined for your head. Yeah. And although you are injured and you leap desperately out the second-story window to escape the hail of gunfire, you have lost your reanimated friend.
I'll make them all. I'm gone.
That's where we'll pull away from player control, and the camera pulls back. Everyone has lost sight of who they came here to assault, and Morgan is able to luckily slip away, gravely injured, near death, and limping away with only one functioning leg. As everyone else starts turning on those that they came with and firing into crowds and losing their minds trying to be the only sole survivor, the camera pulls back, and we see Morgan running off into the distance of the jungle, searching in vain for some sign of production. Morgan is never heard from again.
I like to believe he's still out there, watching over us like the benevolent God that he is.
He might well be. Someday, if we ever come back to this game, we may run across him like we ran across Pena, who had survived a few seasons of the game. And that's where I'm going to draw Deathmatch Island to a close. We did not get to experience one of the endgame stages of the game, where, Corey, as you and Todd both kind of lined out, you wanted to take on production proper and actually fight against them in the arena of the game.
Yes.
That's where this happens. So Deathmatch Island kind of styles itself in such a way that as you progress through the islands themselves, which are arenas for competition against other players, you eventually find yourself on a final island, which always is meant to kind of break the spirit of the individual competitor before they are pitted against each other. And it's possible to turn that system against production and try to fight back against them directly instead of just fighting back against whatever defense measures they have on any specific island. Todd, what you said is exactly the way that's intended to be. The final island is meant to be the final confrontation, either between you and your team or production itself. So we didn't get to make it that far this time. So maybe that's something we can do if we ever decide to come back to Deathmatch Island.
Yeah, and the version we played, there's multiple ways to play this, we mentioned early on, but we did play the very truncated edition of this.
Yeah, we played what's called the one-shot version of it, which on this show we can call bullshit on. But it is true. Any standard session of play for typical role players would be 5-6 hours, and that's about what we came up with. So, yeah, this is one-shot mode where you play through basically the full timeline for a single island, and then you go straight to the final confrontation.
And so we had initial motivations that were known only to us in Austin. Mm-hmm. I think Kyle's was friendship.
Close.
Yep.
Make a connection.
Make connections.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I couldn't really wrap my head. Was Todd's, was yours like vengeance or something?
Mine was sabotage. I was there with a secret purpose
Oh,
to
okay.
stop the game once and for all.
Oh, okay. Mine was conspiracy.
Yeah, I couldn't really say anything about my secret purpose, though, because it says if production finds out, they'll eliminate you with extreme prejudice. So had to play it close to the vest.
Cool.
Oh, Tom Cody, a.k.a. Sebastian.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
And Todd, that's the main reason I made you the one that they find a clone of. So there is, again, I'll underline this. There is no strict narrative backdrop for what's going on behind the curtain with this competition. It gave me so many options for things to basically throw in to offset the players' efforts or to undermine their understanding of what was happening up to this point. I'm kind of looking forward to a chance, if we ever get to play this in full, where we can kind of just collaboratively come up together with what's actually going on here. Kind of the way we do mysteries in Brindlewood Bay.
Yeah.
Where you just get thrown a bunch of clues and it's up to you to make sense of them, and you can just kind of roll to see how it comes together.
Cool. Yep, so fun game. We're going to play another game next week for a change. What are we playing, Kyle?
Orkborg!
Yay.
Oh, shit.
Yeah!
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so if you are not familiar with this game, which you may not be, it is, as the name implies, a Borg game. More specifically, you are an orc. You live in space.
Wait, so the rocket launchers really are in Mordor?
Yeah. Aboard the derelict and out-of-control junk rocket, you will fight and yell and steal and kill to secure a front row seat for the apocalypse. So,
Cool. Another lighthearted game
yep.
in the pipeline.
This is basically a game about the orcs from Warhammer 40K, who
Okay.
are essentially heavily armed soccer hooligans in space.
Okay.
and are the only people enjoying the setting.
Fun.
They're the only people having fun there.
Fantastic.
Gotcha.
You know what I would like scream and kill and all that other shit you said for? Mm-hmm. Norse Foundry Dice.
Me too.
Wow.
Yeah, go to NorseFoundry.com. You'll find all manner of dice made out of all manner of materials, plus lots of really cool merch. And when you make your selection and you're at the checkout, be sure to enter promo code CHAM. That's CHAM for CHAM, and get the 10% Bastard Quest discount at NorseFoundry.com.
That's my least favorite message board website, 4chan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's signature is just, hey, buddies.
Yeah.
Nothing ever gets talked about there. Just constantly greeting each other.
Yeah. They say a bunch of racist shit and then say buddy.
Also, thank you to our sponsor, Barrel and Bond, 100 Broadway Street in beautiful downtown Paducah, right there on the banks of the Ohio River.
Was there last night.
Was there the night before.
I wasn't anywhere near that place.
I've been banned. I killed the lobster in the bathroom.
Oh, no.
But we hope you had a good time. We appreciate all our listeners and people that talk to us on social media. Most importantly, our Patreon members.
Yeah, which Austin did not have much respect for or use in this game whatsoever.
Yeah. I had to spend so much time fucking improvising story beats for this one that
You couldn't have worked in a single skull fucker or oarsman in there.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. I'm Kyle.
Todd.
Corey.
I'm Austin.